Hi guys. We're gonna be doing a Lancelot Roundtable, right? It's gonna be 4 of us, and we're gonna just talk about general things that we think about the character, matchups, and other miscellaneous things that we can think of.
Hello?
Yep, can hear you.
Hey,
Hello.
what's good?
Monarch, King John.
Alright, let me get water before we start this.
Yeah, let's take a 2-minute water break. I just finished playing Dante T in like our first to 15.
You were doing what?
I was playing Dante with Percival. He wants the matchup experience.
Oh, gotcha.
I'll be right back, and then we'll get started as soon as OmnisScythe joins this call. Okay. Did Omni join yet?
Nah, he will soon though.
He says he's around. He just needs to switch the mobile in a second. Lord OmnisScythe of the White Silky.
Can anyone hear me? If you can, type F in the chat.
Type F in the chat. Why?
F sure, that's why.
King John, you still there?
I'm back. Okay.
So, just to check in, King John,
Yeah.
OmnisScythe,
What's up?
and Monarch.
Present.
This man said present like it's school. That's crazy.
Leave me alone.
Okay, so they're good now. Oh, they say this nigga OmnisScythe is miles from his mic.
Yeah, I lost my gaming headset, so I'm just talking via my phone.
That's crazy.
F. Alright, so first and foremost, thank you guys for making time out of your busy schedule to help me with this.
No problem.
Man,
I
I'm
got
so
nothing
fine.
to do,
Like,
bro.
it's fine.
I got nothing to do. I'm stuck here.
Damn. So I think I sent you guys like a schedule of what we could possibly talk about. So yeah, we already know who the players are. Lord OmnisScythe, Lord
First of
Monarch,
his name.
first of his name of the White Silky, King John. So
Mhm.
Lancelot's busy, yes. You don't see how we just be 5-viewing across the screen? Yeah, we keep that active lifestyle in real life. So actually, let's start with this. Let's start with the tier list thing. Lancelot. Okay, this is... Alright, so I'm going to switch to sharing my screen now. Oh, not that. Nope. I hate this. Yo, what? Take that off.
Suddenly get into the lab.
Oh, that's why I just sit and think about life and like do my intros and all the other good shit. That and people need to appreciate Dexter's Laboratory because that shit is actually the GOAT. So first thing we're talking about is Lance's matchup chart. So as you can see here, we took Diaphane's original plot for Zooey and we just stretched around 4 Lancelot players and gave our thoughts on each of the matchups. Let's zoom in. It looks like it's really small on you guys.
I can see it this one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So I guess we could start in alphabet. Actually, no. We have to do this with culture. First and foremost, we're gonna say fuck Charlotta.
Fuck
Bro,
Charlotta.
fuck
Absolutely.
Charlotta, bro. I hate that shit.
And if you hadn't noticed on the official thumbnail for the Lancelot Roundtable, there's actually a fuck Charlotta on the table. So I guess we could start with that matchup because I think that was like the first one that we kind of divided on. Some of us thought it was even, some of us thought it was slightly in Charlotta's favor. So let's talk about that.
I mean, I think net play is a big factor to it. Like,
Yeah.
it's more manageable offline, I would assume, but like net play just enhances those factors a lot worse.
Yeah, offline, I don't mind it that much, to be honest. It's a lot more manageable. But online, it sucks. I hate it.
All the Charlottas just play fucking ignorant as hell. They care nothing about the world. They're
They don't
toxic.
give a fuck. They don't care.
Outside of like the way people play the character, what do y'all think of like the intricacies of the matchup? Do you think you're supposed to play it fast, slow?
You definitely gotta put that.
Yeah, I'd agree with Slow as well.
Because I've seen the
You
way
can't
like
go ham unless her charge attack, her DP, and her whatever the hell you call the spinning attack is on cooldown. I would just play soft.
I've seen the way
Just scramble with that play.
yeah, that ass. I've seen the way Score plays the matchup, and that shit looks like he says, "Fuck that! I'm on Adderall. I have to rush her down before she rushes me down," and that is absolutely terrifying for me because
It feels like a JP thing though, to be honest. Like, I'm not sure what it is, but that speed of play just seems to be more common there at least. I don't know.
oh yeah, am I the only one who hates like when you try to throw a fireball at her and then you try to like 5 you to get closer, she just throws out a parry and it still hits you? Am I the only one that gets tilted by that?
Not really. I think that's fair.
You think that's fair?
Well, yeah,
Kinda
because
weird, in my opinion. Like it's proximity based, right? Like you.
Yeah, it's proximity based. Because like
Yeah.
if you play Percival and she like does 5 you and you press 5H, nothing happens. She just lost the health and you're perfectly fine.
Like if Charlotta be parrying my fireballs from full screen, I don't care because they still take damage. Like y'all can do it all day. I don't care. But if I try to get a mix in and I'm like not even doing anything, but I'm just close enough, it just kind of annoys me that she gets that type of thing.
Yeah, I could. And I guess we all can unanimously agree when she does EX Demon Flip, we guard low and never high.
I'm not 50%. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get myself to default to just Master 2C if I ever hit CDX because he can't frame trap it.
Yeah, same.
Like every other EX can't be frame trapped. So you could technically just Master 2C if you ever see Lowain and it work. But off the very rare chance that CXC does like B Demon Flip, you're just gonna have to hold the punch.
So the thing is, for me, I try to react in both instances. If I see her do normal Demon Flip, I go for air grab. And if I see her do EX Demon Flip, I try to 2-spud. It's kind of unreliable because online, you know, you're gonna get your shit stuffed. So
yeah,
I see B Flip, I'm just running out the corner thanks to this game.
I don't know. I feel like if you run out the corner, it's not really like a deterrent to them. So it just means, okay, they just give up their free real estate, and they're just gonna eventually push you back into the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, fuck Charlotta. Next matchup we could talk about. Actually, this is the one I wanted to talk about the most, and I actually contacted you guys, and I have to insert the funny fucking photo because you know he sent it to us.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
How do we feel about fighting Fame, aka Vaserga?
You mean Fame?
Oh yeah,
That's
Fame.
the only one I'm worried about.
I mean, I know of one other Vaserga, and he's Floridian. I think he goes by Cruxus, but I haven't seen him in a while, so Fame is literally the only experience that we get from this match.
Yeah, I fought like 2.
I fought him once, ever, and I got whooped. I hate it.
Yeah, that'll happen.
There's pretty much just 2 levels of versus game for me. One, we go even, but we only go even in the oddest sense that I streak on him first, and he reverse streaks me back. And then other times, I just plain try to bully the character.
Yeah, I think you have to like bully the character. I don't know. It's weird. Like it's either bully or be bullied.
Yeah, in some instances, you wouldn't jump with this character at all. But if you have really good jumps and you can like get that sweet spot where he can't intake, but you get the chip from the back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's glorious.
And then it's like, oh, you jumped. He's crouching. That means I get 2L in the 5C, which is something I have to like completely ingrain into my head that if you can get characters to whiff their crouching anti-airs, stop doing 2L5M and do 2L5H for more damage. Actually, random question. Have you guys ever fought a Vaserga that was it Fame?
Yeah.
I can allow you.
It's like night and day between the two. I would like to see stronger Vaseragas. I guess maybe after the pandemic's over.
I think they're pretty rare.
All right, so this is a hot take because someone actually asked this question before we started this roundtable. Lancelot versus Ferry.
Slight decision.
I mean,
I used to definitely on the team
disagreement.
that he just ran on her, but it doesn't apply anymore. Like the meta has gotten to the point where you can't jump the character 90% of the time.
But she can always jump at you for some stupid fucking reason.
yeah.
For some reason, her JA beats your ante.
Yeah, so I was trying to explain this to SQ beforehand, and that Ferry jumping is a mix-up to Lancelot, where we have to guess if they're gonna either come down normally, jump A, or just jump 6 you and get out of whatever situation that they were in to begin with. And it's just like, by doing that, we have to worry about 3 things at once, but we can only commit to one option at a time. So if they, let's say, her jump C beats anti-airs too. Wow. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen her jump C in my life, because I'm so used to getting hit by jump A. But
You have it? Oh, that's weird.
like if
You're normal.
Like the thing is, like if I envision Ferry airborne, I see nothing else but jump A. It's either jump A or jump 6U. What are those 2? That's what I can imagine. That's what I see. That's what I envision, and it gives me flashbacks and PTSD. I think what makes it so hard is that even after we lock her down, the fact that she has like a free get out of jail free card while we have to commit to one option, and if we guess wrong on that option, now we have to suddenly chase her down, is a problem. But I do think like the plus side to that is that if she gets us down to 30%, now we're like playing a whole different game in which that everything she does she has to be precautious of because we have a punish now. So like if we're at 30%, if they try to do whip at any range, it's a free SSBA. If they try to do GG and they're like not really hiding their like intentions, that's a free 6-6C into another SSBA. So it's just like SSBA makes that matchup a lot more manageable because of her low health, and it's just like, damn, I really gotta like wait for this to happen and hope that she hasn't installed and killed me for not guessing right.
The funny thing about this matchup for me is that it's technically a little bit in our disadvantage, but to be honest, I don't know if it's just me, but this matchup is way more stressful for us than it would be for the Ferry players.
I say it all the time, but they don't think that. They think it's equally stressful for both of us.
I see both sides. Like, Lancelot can be pretty explosive with, counter hit turbulence. I think that's always a fear that they have. But as you were saying, Teiga, like, offense is the easy part, right? When you're in there and her DP can be OS with 5-0. My issue is getting to that point, right? Like, what is Lancelot's stable answer to dealing with her neutral? Like, outside of raw SVA or SSFA.
We can't do anything. You can't even turbulence because 5M will anti-air you for some fucking reason.
Oh yeah, turbulence gets destroyed by 5M for some reason.
It's so stressful.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's pray that you get a random 6/6 which will get you in, or that they are pretty rope heavy and you get the dodge forward.
Yeah, I feel like at the highest level, Lancelot Ferry becomes less of a matchup and you try to capitalize on the human player tendencies.
That sounds terrible.
It's fucked up, but if you think about it, it's true, right?
No, I know it's true. It's just the... yeah.
It's just annoying.
It's an annoying matchup for me. I remember when I was playing SQ at Ronin Rumble like 3 to 4 weeks ago in Grand Finals, and after the second game, I'm like, screw this, I'm gonna play like a nut, because that's the way I feel like I have to win.
Yeah.
And I feel like I had to play so crazy to throw her off so much that she couldn't get anything going. That's how it felt for me.
Hopefully, I don't even know how to deal with this. Like, I feel like I could play versus every other character, like, kind of the same way. But Ferry, it's more like I have to do my game plan and then triple it or quadruple it in order to have a chance against the Ferry.
But crazy thing to me is, after we do our goal of locking her in the corner, she can get out so free.
Yep.
Like, she has a DP, her JU, Spidey swing, bro.
I forgot about Spidey swing.
Like,
It's so annoying.
She gets out for free. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's annoying as shit.
Sometimes.
Okay, so here's another one, and here's the fun one, because I feel like at the end of this discussion, we might say the matchup is even, but all of us unanimously agree that Lancelot Ladiva is in our favor.
Oh, it's definitely enough.
Yeah. I think we bully her pretty hard.
I almost want to say, what does this character do until she gets up?
Like, and the funny,
knockdown.
Yeah, and even then she has to guess. But the funny thing is, it's like the other side, Ladiva players feel this matchup is in their favor, and I'm just like, how? Yeah, such theories I definitely recall telling me the matchup was in his favor, and
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, they say something like, "Oh, it's because Lancelot has to get in, and that's what they want." I'm like, okay.
I mean, like, I have this really nice fireball that makes my life easy, and I can just, like, follow it, and you have to either block it and I get frame advantage, or you jump and you die. And it's like, okay.
I think most of this comfort may come from the fact that Ladiva is JA or JB. I'm not which one. It's the kick. It has a pretty good box for, like, stuff in the anti-air. But the issue with that button is, if you feel it's coming, you can just run behind her, and then it doesn't exist anymore. You get a free 5C anti-air.
Yeah, there are options to cover those kind of approaches. So, with the amount of dominance that we kind of establish in that neutral game, like, I don't really feel afraid playing against that matchup.
Like, no one's saying it's free. It's just she kind of has to block until 100 meter comes into play, or gets the knockdown, and then she can finally run her game. With the 100 meter, it's stopping fireball from resistance for a while.
Oh, with Lariat. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this one's gonna be, like, probably my highlight. Who here has played Sosic Nash Fan?
I don't.
I haven't.
A long time ago.
Okay, so here's gonna be a fun one. What do you think the Metera matchup is if we include Sosic Nash Fan?
What do you mean exactly?
Alright, so there was a point when, I don't know if you guys remember 56K.
Yeah.
So after the patch, playing Nash Fan, I feel like Nash Fan's Metera was a bit different from the Meteras that we come across when we say Sonic, let's say Sonic Soul, Edgon Bad, Frisk Chaos. So
It was very aggressive.
you feel it was aggressive?
Yeah, in his case,
Yeah, definitely.
100% about that offense. Even his defensive play was offense.
Yeah. For me personally, like, if I'm fighting Sosic Nash Fan, I was like, yo, this shit actually could kind of feel kind of even. Like, I would argue this shit might actually be even, but if I play anyone else, it's like, oh, possibly is Lancelot's favor. I don't know.
I don't know. I never
I
fought
would
them.
say, whenever I played them, it was mostly, okay, how many times did he eat the sponge before he gives up on that shit? And he never gave up. And because of that, like, you sometimes get games that definitely he'll eventually win at the end of the day, just because I was not willing to, like, commit to an option that he was constantly matching against. But I do say match, but it was the teleport match. That wasn't 100% of the time. But if he felt confident, if he was, like, going for, let's say, 5A into tick throw, he would start matching.
Okay, that makes sense.
But if we're talking about this without Nash Fan, if I put Metera in the corner, I think I already won the round. So
Yeah. No, that's I actually believe it. I feel the same way. If it's not Nash Fan, if I get you in the code, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can win this.
Yo, I won. It's over.
Like, don't whiff SBA, because that's a free 50%.
How many people have actually eaten Sonic Souls mix-up where he does dash into Teiga arrows? How many people actually get actively hit by that?
I've gotten hit with it. I've gotten hit with it frequently at one point because of like me and So used to play Street Fighter, so that was just like a thing where we just dash and throw. So that was like ingrained into me. But after a while, that shit just stopped. Like I don't know what happened. After a while, it would just magically whip, and I'm like, okay, guess I get the fuck out of jail for now.
Yeah, that kept happening when we played as well. I think I may have gotten hit once, but that's only because I fully believe that okay, he's not gonna go for it. Let's actually just challenge this for once. And then I got blown up.
All right, we could take 20 seconds to talk about the next character, which is Soriz.
Let's go with that.
Uh,
I want to play Diaphones because I haven't actually played anyone as strong as his.
yeah, same, honestly.
I played Diaphone once in tournament a while ago, like a long time ago. But all I can say is that every time I see Soriz, I'm thinking, all right, it's free. Like Soriz is so bad, dude. Like I want him to get buffed.
Same. So fun fact, he was actually my secondary before I picked up Percival, but then I played Percival Soriz and I was just like, I am never playing this matchup again in my life. Like I thought Lancelot Soriz was bad, then I fought Percival, I'm like, yeah, I'm good with 8-2s.
Why is this so Percival advantage then?
Okay, so what ends up happening is, right, so Soriz is 5, you takes up health, right? But you don't get to activate SSBA until 30%, which is already a bad thing to begin with, right? So literally, Percival could just chuck fireballs at you, and you just gotta sit there and take it. Like, you have to overextend in order to get in on Percival.
I know what you mean now. I'm trying to think about it.
Think of like Percival Soriz as like Percival Diet Ladiva, except I have nothing to be scared of.
Yeah.
I'll take a grab.
And they have to take so many risks, pretty much.
You don't get Oki off of it. Now you have to guess on my wake up if I'm gonna fuzzy mash, DP, or just block. And it's like he doesn't have a DP, so I'm like, oh great, good shit. All right, I think that was like 40 seconds, not 20. So we still on good schedule. Yeah, I guess we can go in alphabetical order. So I remember Slay telling me that this matchup was even, and I'm like, I can't see it with Lancelot's mobility.
Yeah, there are a few factors that go into it. Like the fireball setup that we have is DP safe. That's one thing. We can also 2-2H over vacuums.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
That ass? I've been just rolling.
I didn't even know that.
I was rolling and getting the raw punish. I could just 2-2H it.
Yeah, if you read it early enough, you can just like follow up over it for the big punish. But,
oh god, that's rough.
Well, I didn't know about that actually.
I didn't know about that either. I was just like, all right, you get it, you got it.
I was just rolling it. Like,
yeah.
Well, now I know. The next time I play Slay, I guess I'll try that.
I don't think Slay will ever pick Bubs against me, and I'm sad. Not in tournament at least.
The Levitation 2 weeks ago, he picked Bubs against me in top 4 because he knew I didn't know how to anti-air JU properly, but then I labbed it and it kind of blew up in his face. So that's the only reason why, but I don't think he's gonna do it anymore.
The only reason I don't think Slay will pick Bubs against me is because apparently Bubs Percival is like one of the worst matchups in the game, and I don't think he would have risked getting counterpicked that badly. Especially knowing that I'm perfectly fine fighting Percival. Katalina with Percival. So I think he's just gonna always just play the safe bet and pick Katalina. That's just my interpretation.
That makes sense.
Side question though, what do you guys think Bubs needs in the next patch though?
The ability to actually zone.
I would say good confirms off like max range 5N. Because right now he gets virtually nothing.
Okay, let's talk about the degenerate. And by degenerate, I mean Djeeta, of course. Because fuck you.
Safety character, pretty much. Everything. It's pretty even in my opinion. Nothing crazy about it. Like fighting Gran.
You see, the thing is, fighting Gran is reasonable. Fighting Djeeta is a headache. Like
really? I think it's the opposite.
I never thought it was like too crazy.
Maybe it's just me personally, but every Djeeta I fight, they just whiff normals but like no purpose. Like you can just clearly see they're just whiffing.
Well, the idea I'm guessing is that if they whiff enough, maybe you'll feel comfortable to try to challenge and approach, and then EX neutral for your
Yo, EX neutral the god? EX neutral, my favorite move of the game. EX neutral, that's like what, -4 into full screen corner carry into a hard knockdown.
Oh, I mentioned in some cases they can like do light DP right afterwards to get a full combo.
That's crazy.
Gotta love it. Djeeta is one of those characters I play Percival exclusively with, because the matchup's also even, but they have to think a lot more in terms of like a neutral game. They can't just fucking throw out 5C with like reckless abandon, or 2M or 5M without reckless abandon, because all those numbers are whiff punishable by Percival. So it's like, okay, you do that, and I'll proceed to take 30% of your life bar.
Yeah, but as Lancelot, I never thought this matchup was too crazy, like hard. It was just, straight up, straightforward. I always thought it was pretty easy, honestly. Nothing too crazy to worry about except he gets Rekka, and out of nowhere, for me.
It's just spacing, really.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give that matchup another shot with Lancelot.
But I think so. I never really thought about it too much. Straightforward.
Even Bill's like 2M, 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 2M. Yeah.
But who knows?
I'm not gonna say no names, but there was a Djeeta I fought. All he was doing was whipping 5H into SBA. He was buffering it, man. I'm like, yo, fam, you can't be doing that versus me. I'll take out 40%. Why? And the one time he like caught my normal, his SBA ain't reach, and I'm like, that's unfortunate. Now you got to die.
Feels bad.
Feels great.
I meant for him. I mean, if they want to whip all day, I'll just eat 50%.
Like, to be fair, there's too many Djeetas that sound like it.
Maybe I should stop doing this after the 4th time. Like, he'll like, so we played a set earlier, like Percival Djeeta, and I called out that he shouldn't jump, and he jumped, and then he lost 50%.
Oh, why not? What's happened?
With Percival. And then after that moment, that motherfucker never jumped in the corner again. I'm like, damn. And I was looking for it the entire time, like, this man's really not gonna jump no more? Oh, because he lost 50%? That's crazy. I mean, Bill, you could risk like whiffing 5H, and if I kill you for it, it's not my fault. Gran.
Pretty much how I feel about Djeeta. Pretty straightforward. Just don't whiff a button near the corner, else this move will boot you to death.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I really think about this.
I think that one's harder, to be honest. It might just be me, though.
My thing is just like, I don't know if it's just like I played this game too fucking much, or if it's just their intentions are just becoming a lot more visible. But I feel like it's always easy to identify what range they want to play at and what they're trying to do at that range. You can tell like when they're trying to boot you versus when they're trying to play a fireball. And what makes it even funnier is like, if you stand at the tip of boot range, they completely lose focus on the fact that they have a fireball and become completely like engrossed with the idea of just trying to boot. So it's just like they just forget that they had a fireball that they can zone you with.
Yeah. The way I feel about Gran is that, in my opinion, Gran and Katalina are the two characters in the cast that most reflect your playstyle or how you like to play, because they can pretty much do anything. Like, I can tell each Gran apart so well. Like, I remember when I played against Zombu's Gran a long time ago, and this man made me feel like I'm trash. Like, he played me so well. And then I see other Grans that just like to mash boot, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it really depends a lot on the player more than the character for me.
They don't use medium fireball to stop predictive 2Us. You see, the thing is about predictive medium fireball is that I feel like the startup from medium fireball is a lot more identifiable. So it's just like, okay, I see that you're doing this now, so I'm just gonna, I guess the best way to put it is at the range that Lance is trying to 2U Grant's fireball, light fireball and medium fireball makes no difference. Because we could see when you're gonna light fireball anyway. And if you just like medium fireball, we're just gonna wait it out. You're just like, okay, now you fireball and now we sweep you.
Yeah.
Alright, so I didn't want to put this on my matchup chart publicly, right? But I actually think the Katalina matchup is easier than the Lance matchup.
Wait, what do you mean?
Wait, yeah.
So, alright, so let's put it like this, right? So at the mid-screen range, we're either worried about fireball or boot. Katalina, and it's weird because if you try to react to fireball preemptively and you sweep, they can boot you and it crushes you. That's perfectly fine, right? With Katalina, they don't get that. Sweep beats fireball and stinger at the same time. It's just like, oh, I just wait. And if I see you flinch, I just 2U. Like if I see you like cock your arm back or try to chuck a fireball, easy 2U. Like I actually think if this was offline, this matchup might possibly be a little bit harder for Katalina.
Oh no, I'm not agreeing with that.
I could see it. I've tried your strategy. I just never pulled it off personally. I've gotten counter hit by Stinger trying to sweep it so many times. I gave up on it personally. I'll just play footsie.
I don't know the frame data, but I feel that he had like the hitbox on sweep, not sweep, thrust gets bigger near the end of it, because that's usually the range where for some reason sweep randomly gets beat out. But when you're like in the mid range of where the sweep and the thrust is going to collide, sweep normally wins you.
Yeah, so if we just play the mid range where we need to be standing, we like effectively just neutralize half our toolkit. All I have to worry about is our normals, and those could be whiff punished because, you know, there is a patch. So this is like, I think online we might say it's even, but offline this could possibly be a bad match for that.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I feel like once offline starts up again, there's going to be a lot more Catalinas. Like a lot more Catalinas.
I can see it potentially for less Lancelot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that gets neutralized offline.
Empty jump low.
I get rude. I got rudely reminded of playing Tetris the other day. I'm not saying what. I want my free wins online.
I respect it.
I respect it. Yo, I respect it. Yo, make that bag. All right, so I'm gonna need y'all to pick a number between 1 and 60.
1 and 60.
60.
27.
32.
I'm gonna go with 33.
All right, chat. Do you think we can talk about the Lowain matchup in 33 seconds?
Could do it in one.
I mean, we do it in like 10.
Hold on, let me get the timer. Let's see if you can actually talk about this in 33 seconds. All right, I'm gonna count down and then I'm gonna hit the timer. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, y'all. Now, this is the thing about the Lance-Lowain matchup. Lowain's free as hell, all right? All you have to do, lock him in the corner, spot dodge parry, you win the match. All right? No, I'm dead ass. All right, when Iggy comes, save your turbulence. Save your turbulence. All right, save your turbulence. When she does anything, turbulence, bro. Do that shit right off rip. And make sure that once it's about to run out, just Gorilla Blade and that's a punish and you won. Here you go. Do you want
6, 5, 4.
Lowain
dodge parry.
asks, he needs buffs. Good night.
You made it in 33 seconds.
Yep, there you go.
That was pretty good.
You get a clap for that. That was
All right, thank you.
oh,
I basically summed it up like.
you definitely
Yeah,
did.
pretty much.
Oh my god. That was funny as hell. We actually talked about it in 33 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even use turbulence when fighting Yiggy. I actually like the jungle game, so I just play it out.
You like playing Mario Party in that? I mean,
Yeah, why not?
Yo,
I see it.
I have very traumatic experiences of playing Mario Party with friends, so I just don't risk it anytime.
Like, I am definitely more afraid of shenanigans and experiments.
Yeah.
Especially because in Lancelot's case, he's one of the few characters that have just climactic supers, so he doesn't get full damage throwing super out at all. Where, let's say if he was playing Djeeta, you get to knock 40% for their mistake.
I use spot dodge tech a lot against that super with mixed results.
I
It's sort of effective.
just stand block and just react to the low. And that's it. Like, I just spot dodge the low afterwards. I haven't really had any issues besides that, but that one mix where he just hits you with the multiple missiles and then make you guess. Yeah, once they neutralize the ability to just spot dodge, it gets a little harder, but only for the first mix.
I'm still crying over the fact that we talked about it in 33 seconds.
one thing that I will give the Lowains though is that he does have some stuff in the corner. Some. Yeah, he has some stuff that works. I will say that.
So it's like, did you convince these for 6-4?
I mean,
Alright.
Oh, we wasn't talking about matchup stuff at this point. We was just talking about the fun stuff that happened midway through the match.
Lowain has a setup. It's more like 6.5. T-Bola says it's 6.5 or borderline 7.3. I'm gonna call that cap. I'm gonna say that's cap.
I don't think there's a matchup that bad in this game, is there?
Just pick Soriz versus any good character. You'll experience like an 8-2.
you'll feel
Oh
pain.
god.
Sorry versus Ferry.
It's crazy. Like, out of all the matchups that you would think is bad, that's see the good one.
What, how?
It's a technical nuance. It's like Soriz Ferry is 5-5. Believe it or not, I stopped questioning it a long time ago. But Soriz Ferry is 5-5, right? But Soriz versus Ladiva, you can say that's 8-2. Soriz versus Percival, you could say that's probably 8-2. If not, you're probably calling that a 7-3. Charlotta Soriz is kind of making it. Actually, now that I think about it, Diaphone won an NLBC beating PME with Soriz.
Yeah, I actually saw that.
Crazy.
That's right. Yeah. That was pretty godlike to be honest.
I mean, he went over the entire matchup, so if you guys want to learn the matchup in the chat, then just go watch his stream or his VOD.
And he talked about how to beat Soriz. I'm like, yo, just pick Percival, chuck a light fireball, and stop. That's it. You just won the matchup. And no funny shit, that is literally how you could just win the matchup. All right, so in my opinion, this next matchup went down, and it was originally in Lance's favor badly. And that's Narmaya.
Narmaya.
I haven't played that matchup all that much personally.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I used to play Okaskemi a lot, but then that kind of stopped.
I think I just played Okasimi, I think in NLBC recently, and I was surprised how close that matchup went. Granted, I haven't really played Namaya in like 3 months.
I don't think Okaskemi's ever beaten me in a tournament. And you know how the curse works. Now that I publicly said that on stream, the next time I fight Okaskemi, I'm going to lose. Before we get to that, but before we get to that point, the thing that I think made the matchup better for Lancelot pre-patch was 6-6C. 6-6C used to punish Setsuna free. And now you gotta like do mad work in order to get that punish in. Because of the loss of that tool, and especially because it was hitting at the tip so you would get the full corner carry with all the nice damage, the matchup I feel went from 6-4 to 5-5, along with the nice buffs that he gave Narmaya.
That's the slash, right?
Setsuna's her little, like, anti-projectile thing.
Yeah, the anti-projectile.
Oh, I mean, you can just roll that, right?
Yeah. You can just roll it and punish it, but I don't think you can do 668 anymore.
No, you can't do 668. Pre-patch, regardless of like what range you were at, if you were outside of Setsuna's range, that was a free 668 every time.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh fuck, I just wasted 668.
I mean, the way you really beat Narmaya, honestly, is just holding the block button.
Yeah.
That's not even a character you would think to hold the block button on, but if you hold the block button, you already won, pretty much. Obviously, it's not that simple, but it's something you should definitely do in that matchup. That not a lot of people do because it's Narmaya. It's not a character you're like, oh, I gotta hold the block button against them. Like if you would fighting Lancelot, for example.
And you know what's crazy? Everyone gets hit with it once. They always get hit with the cross up EX dash into EX slash because they forget that you're supposed to hold the block button versus this chick. I forgot which Narmaya I was seeing, but they would just do 2L, EX dash, EX slash, and you just lost 50%. And it's like, oh, there goes your life bar.
Pretty much.
All right, so this one's going to be fun to talk about because I'm pretty sure at least one of you, your experience came from me. And that's Percival.
Percival. I think it's even.
I think it's even.
I think it's even, but because I haven't played your Percival enough, ever since Ava stopped playing, pretty much I have like no Percival experience of like recent times. But I do lab situations, so like there's some cute stuff that I remember works. Like if he's trying to do like 60 fireball pressing, not 60, like far 8 fireball, you can like 6XL just trade every time. But since he's the one getting knocked down, you take the aftermath afterwards.
Tell me more.
What, you can laugh this?
I thought I just said anyways, the fuck? I ain't trying to get got next tournament.
You didn't know of it?
Listen, so I have, every time I fight a Lancelot, it's usually with Percival. And that goes for like the two of you. Like I'll play Lancelot the first matchup, everything goes fine. And I'm just like, I'm gonna just pick Percival because I just want to be a degenerate and just fuck up your EX Fireball, your Fireball pressure. You gonna get hit with this nice bar 5C, and I would just look at the life bar just go away. I'm like, stupidity at its finest. The thing is though, people don't realize like about Percival, and this is me speaking as a player, that far 5C into Fireball, light Fireball, is not real. Your micromanagement has to be as good as mine in a sense, if you don't have a traditional DP. Because if you have to be observing like when I have a stock as much as I'm observing if I have a stock, because that changes everything. That changes the properties of my fireballs, which is the thing that most people are concerned about. So it's just like, yo, if you're not paying attention to that, I'm about to get away with bloody murder, and you're not gonna be ready. I just look at how much stocks I have, and I'm just like, all right, this is the amount of degeneracy I can get myself into before she hits the wire, and it works out, because top tier privilege. So we're gonna talk about this. Wait, hold on, I have to check the chat to see if he's in here. All right, he's not in here. Cool. We have to talk about Zeta really quickly before Realize steps into the chat and starts screaming that the matchup is before he starts screaming the matchup is in our favor. Because again, like Ferry, this is one of those matchups that SSBA changes the game for us, right? Where they can no longer do Spear of Arvis. Just because anytime they commit to Spear of Arvis, it's like, oh, let's hit you with this full screen tracking SSBA that's gonna be unscaled and just take out like 40% of your life. Because why not? And then they yell at us because Turbulence is quote unquote stupid and they don't like having to guess on their offense where everyone else does it and they just are perfectly fine with doing it. But for Zeta, for some weird reason, it's not a problem.
Zeta is one of the few characters where she can mask 2H, and occasionally it'll beat both the follow through from Turbulence and regular Turbulence. So I'm like, it's not even that bad of a matchup. She's also one of the few characters that have the true anti-air, where even Ferry's JA can't rob it.
I'm just gonna let you know right now, Omni, I'm going to delete that from the VOD. If Realize watches this shit and then starts doing that shit again to me, I'm coming for your ass, specifically. I'm going to blame you.
It's okay, because Belio's coming out soon. Everyone's gonna get it. It's fun if they figure out some last tips and tricks.
Nah. I want my degeneracy. I like my degeneracy. Last but not least, we have the Pokemon trainer herself, Zooey.
Yeah, I think that one's still in our favor.
Yeah.
If only slightly. Like,
Slightly.
the range advantage is kind of clear, but like, once she's on defense, it's kind of like, what can she really do?
She can't throw out 2M as a buffer, so it's just like, oh, damn, I really miss 6C.
It's
Yeah.
not coming back.
But it's not coming back. Yeah.
Cass, that's gonna be the next topic of discussion. And that's gonna be like probably the most annoying thing about doing this with 3 other people, but we're gonna figure this out. But they don't know about it yet, so don't worry. We're gonna make a how to put this, a tier list, a unified tier list, and try to see if we can agree on where the fuck we're placing Lance. because this is gonna be fun.
Okay.
All right. 6-6C actually helps in this matchup, but I still want my old 6-6C. It's one of those things that because you don't play it so frequently, you kind of like forget the things you can do in the matchup. Like
Yeah, I don't fight Zooey like very often at all.
And then on top of that, I play Percival. So it's like, oh, why would I play Lancelot when I can just play fucking Percival in this matchup? But there are still things like you can like, so if she jumps above your head, right? Like if her feet are above your head, if she tries to do EX Lightning and you call it out, that's a free dodge in the 6-6C. Or you can do SSBA, you can do whatever the fuck you feel like at that point. Neutral's a little weird because her sweep is fucking stupid.
I was gonna say that 650 kind of makes it difficult to use it against 2U.
Yeah, so it's not like something I would throw out in neutral. It's something I'd be probably throwing out as a confirmed punish. Or like at the worst case scenario, I'm trying to punish something and I like miss it by like milliseconds. But I think it's still like Lance's favor. You just gotta play it right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh yeah, one thing I hate about Zooey, I hate the fact that her throw into Dragon Laser is unscaled.
They need to scale throw damage, period. Like, even with Ferry, too.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying. Fuck Ferry.
It's crazy that her SBA does as much damage, or more damage than our SSBA.
No, it does more. Like,
That's crazy.
Ours is the lowest of the low.
so if we're in the corner, right, and I do Ferry, if I do like Ferry 5H into SBA, and then go for max damage, that does, I think, equal or more damage than me doing 5C, 6C, 5C, SSBA. And we lost the corner, by the way. Fun times.
Ferry, man. I just want Ferry to get nerfed next patch. I don't want her to die, but she needs some tweaks.
Yeah, just level down.
Yeah.
All
She
right.
needs some-
Maybe add some skeleton to Ferry J.
Nah, just add skeleton throws, and then just tweak her to you just a smidge, so I can actually like punish it if I jump over it.
The 2U be having better frame data than most people, like, close in.
Searchlight says human pyramid attack is the lowest damaging SBA in the game.
You can get 2 licks out of this if you really want to go for it.
And as you can see, right, if you look at the scores of each Lance player, I am the most optimistic Lance we have, which says a lot because I still think this character is like maybe like S- tier, if I'm to say that, S-S. But all right,